Every time someone calls you on WhatsApp, your phone sends your IP address directly to the person calling you, not to WhatsApp servers, to them. Peer-to-peer, device to device, your network address handed over as part of the call connection process. And from your IP address, anyone with a basic network analysis tool can identify your approximate location, your city, your region, your internet provider, without you ever sharing a single thing deliberately. This has been the default behavior of WhatsApp voice and video calls since the feature launched. There is a setting that stops it. It is called Protect IP Address in Calls. It lives inside Settings, then Privacy, then Advanced. And according to Make Use Of Security Guide published in June 2026, the vast majority of WhatsApp users have never opened that menu, never seen that toggle, and have been making calls with their location exposed to every person on the other end without knowing it was happening. 2 billion people use WhatsApp. For most of them, it is their primary communication platform: calls, messages, voice notes, video. The assumption embedded in that level of trust is that the app is protecting what it knows about them. WhatsApp encrypts messages end-to-end. It has built a reputation around that encryption. What it has not built into its default settings is protection against the IP address exposure that occurs every time its call function connects two devices directly. Before you understand how to close this, you need to understand precisely what is being exposed and why it matters. Your IP address is the unique identifier assigned to your device by your internet service provider. When you connect to any network, your home broadband, your mobile data, a public Wi-Fi, your provider assigns you an address that identifies your connection point on the internet. That address contains information. Not your exact street address, not your house number, but your city, your general region, and your ISP. A network analysis tool, freely available, requiring no technical expertise, usable in a browser with no installation, can take an IP address and return a geographic location within seconds. The result is not a satellite image of your house. It is a city name, a region, a postcode range, and an internet service provider. For most people, that information is sufficient to identify the neighborhood they live or work in. Combined with other data points, a name, a social media profile, a known employer, it narrows the picture further. The tools that perform this lookup are not obscure. They are the first result for the search query IP address location. Gadgets 360 documented this risk directly in their coverage of WhatsApp's call architecture. A technically aware caller can read your IP address during a WhatsApp call and derive your approximate location and internet provider from it. The risk is not theoretical. It is the documented routine consequence of peer-to-peer call architecture in an app used by more than 2 billion people globally. And it is not limited to calls from people you know. Anyone who has your phone number can call you on WhatsApp. Anyone who calls you receives your IP. Anyone who receives your IP can locate you approximately immediately and without your knowledge or consent. WhatsApp acknowledged this problem and introduced the fix in November 2023, documented by the Hacker News. The feature is called Protect IP Address in Calls. When it is off, which is the default state on most devices, your WhatsApp calls are peer-to-peer connections. Your device connects directly to the other person's device. The audio and video travel directly between you. This produces the best call quality because the signal takes the shortest possible path. It also produces the IP exposure because establishing that direct connection requires both devices to exchange their network addresses. When Protect IP Address in Calls is turned on, the architecture changes. Your call is routed through WhatsApp's relay servers. Your device connects to Meta's infrastructure. The other person's device connects to Meta's infrastructure. Your IP address never reaches them. They see only the IP address of WhatsApp's servers, not your own. The trade-off, as Qualimiro's 2026 Privacy Guide notes, is a potential minor increase in call latency due to the longer routing path. In practice, for most users, the quality difference is imperceptible. The privacy difference is not. To enable it, open WhatsApp, go to Settings, then Privacy, then Advanced, and toggle on Protect IP Address in Calls. The toggle takes 3 seconds to enable. The protection it provides applies to every call you make and receive from that moment forward. The same settings menu contains a second tick that is exposing your address through a mechanism most people have never considered. When you paste a link into a WhatsApp chat, a news article, a YouTube video, any URL, WhatsApp automatically generates a preview. You have seen this hundreds of times. The small thumbnail image, the headline, the brief description that appears below the link before you send it. What you have probably never considered is what happens in the process of generating that preview. To build it, WhatsApp contacts the server hosting the linked website and requests the page's metadata. That request originates from your device. The target website's server receives it, and the server sees your IP address, not WhatsApp's IP address, yours, before the message is even sent, before the recipient has seen anything, before you have made any deliberate choice to share your location with anyone. Security researchers at MISC blog documented this vulnerability and published their findings, which were subsequently covered across multiple security journalism outlets. The risk they identified is specific and exploitable. An attacker who wants to locate you does not need to call you. They can send you a link, any link, a custom URL pointing to a server they control, and the moment you paste that link into WhatsApp's message field, your device contacts their server and delivers your IP address to them automatically. You have not clicked the link, you have not sent the message. The preview generation alone completes the exposure. This is not a theoretical construct. It is a functional attack that requires the attacker to control a web server, something that costs a few dollars a month, and send you any URL pointing to that server. The moment you paste it into WhatsApp, their server logs your IP. They do not need to wait for you to click. They do not need to receive the message. The attack is completed at the moment of paste, invisibly, with no indication on your screen that anything has occurred. The fix for this is in the same advanced privacy menu. Under Settings, then Privacy, then Advanced, there is an option to disable link previews. When this is turned off, WhatsApp no longer generates thumbnail previews for links you paste. The recipient sees the link as plain text. No preview image, no headline, no description. Your device never contacts the target server to fetch that data, which means your IP address is never transmitted. The Qualimero 2026 guide confirmed this as one of the highest impact privacy changes available in WhatsApp's settings, specifically because the link preview mechanism has been a documented attack vector for years, and the fix has been available in the same menu as the call protection toggle without most users ever encountering it. Disable link previews. The visual experience of your chats changes slightly. The security of your network address is not exposed to every URL you paste into a message. WhatsApp's advanced settings menu contains a third option that was introduced in April 2025 and rolled out broadly across the following months. It is called Advanced Chat Privacy, and it operates as an additional layer of protection covering a different category of risk. When Advanced Chat Privacy is activated for a specific chat, WhatsApp prevents Meta's artificial intelligence from being invoked in that conversation. Normally, Meta AI can be integrated into WhatsApp chats through the Meta AI mention, and data from those interactions may be processed by Meta's AI systems. Advanced Chat Privacy blocks that integration for the specific chat where it is enabled. It also blocks certain categories of content export from that chat, limiting the ability to save chat history to external storage in ways that could expose the content of sensitive conversations. The Qualimero analysis confirmed that Advanced Chat Privacy can be enabled by any participant in a group chat, not just admins, meaning a single privacy-conscious member of a group can activate the protection for all participants simultaneously. The setting does not prevent screenshots, and metadata about the conversation remains visible to WhatsApp. But it addresses the specific concern about AI training and content processing that became more acute as Meta AI became more embedded in the WhatsApp interface across 2025 and 2026. For users who want maximum protection in a single action, WhatsApp also introduced strict account settings, accessible through the same path: Settings, then Privacy, then Advanced. As the Make Use of guide documented, strict account settings locks the account to its most secure configuration automatically, blocking media and attachments from contacts not in your saved list, disabling link previews, silencing calls from unknown numbers, and disabling last seen and online activity indicators simultaneously. The guide notes that this mode is primarily designed for high-profile users who face elevated risk of targeted exploitation, public figures, journalists, activists, executives, but any user who wants to close every documented exposure point in a single toggle can use it. The trade-off is reduced functionality. Some features that depend on the settings being in their default state will stop working. The protection is comprehensive. Before the sequence, it is worth understanding why these settings exist in a menu called Advanced rather than appearing during WhatsApp's initial setup. The answer is commercial. Call quality drops measurably when calls are routed through relay servers instead of peer-to-peer connections. Link previews are a feature that users frequently engage with and that drives time and app metrics. Presenting users with privacy toggles during onboarding creates friction that reduces activation rates. The settings exist. They work. They are genuinely protective, but they are positioned where they are because enabling them by default would degrade measurable product metrics. Understanding this is not cynicism. It is the accurate explanation for why a privacy protection that has existed since November 2023 remains unknown to the vast majority of 2 billion users. Here is the exact sequence to run right now. Open WhatsApp and navigate to Settings, then Privacy, then Advanced. This is the menu that contains every setting discussed here, and it is a menu that Make Use of confirmed most users have never opened despite using the app daily for years. First, enable Protect IP address in calls. This single toggle closes the peer-to-peer call architecture that has been exposing your IP address and approximate location to every person who has ever called you on WhatsApp. Second, disable link previews. This prevents your device from contacting third-party servers when you paste links, closing the mechanism that security researchers at Miskitoler blog documented as an active exploitation vector. Third, if you use WhatsApp for sensitive conversations, financial discussions, personal situations, anything you would not want processed by an AI system, activate advanced chat privacy in those specific chats by tapping the chat name and finding the advanced chat privacy option in the chat settings. If you are a high-profile user or want every protection active simultaneously, enable strict account settings and accept the functionality trade-offs that come with it. The total time for the core 2 changes, call protection and link preview, is well under 90 seconds. The reason most WhatsApp users have never made these changes is not carelessness. It is that the menu containing them is labeled Advanced and positioned multiple taps deep inside settings. WhatsApp's default configuration prioritizes call quality and link preview convenience over the privacy protections that disable them. The default settings serve most users' experience preferences most of the time. They do not serve the privacy interest of keeping your IP address, your approximate location, and your network identity away from the 2 billion people who collectively have access to WhatsApp call and messaging functions. The Hacker News coverage of the Protect IP Address in Calls launch in November 2023 described it as WhatsApp, making it harder for bad actors to infer your location. That description is accurate as far as it goes. What it does not address is the 2.5 years between that feature's launch and the present, in which the setting has existed in an advanced menu that the overwhelming majority of users have never visited. The tick that has been sending your address is not a hidden backdoor or corporate surveillance program. It is a default peer-to-peer architecture that prioritizes performance over privacy, with a protection toggle sitting unused in a menu most people do not know exists. Now you know where it is. Go open that menu and enable it before the next call comes in.